This song is in standard tuning, and there are two versions. There's the original studio version, and then there's what was done in the music video and radio, which is a little shorter. They cut the intros in half, basically. Those two options and the chords and the structure are shown right here. Here is that awesome intro to the song that is used as a transition throughout. And then you're right into the verse. It's interesting because the count actually changes there. They add 2 beats on at the end of that progression, right? So there's that descent, and they hold the G halfway through, and they finish the measure, and then 1, 2. And on the 1, 2 is the ba-ba, chi-checka-ba. Okay, so it's just an interesting trick that they do throughout the song. A trick to note on the strumming in that intro part is you want to play the top 3 strings, okay? So downstrokes are probably easier, like, and I actually use my middle finger here to kind of mute that G string so it's not ringing, so, and then, and I'm also, if I catch that, I'm muting the G string yet again. Okay, on the G. But when you play it up to tempo, I actually go, so down, up, down, down, up, down. Practice it slowly and then speed it up, and you'll get there. Here's the verse progression. And it repeats that one more time, so 2 times through the progression. You'll also notice it's only 3 measures rather than 4 measures, which is just kind of interesting. So it's shorter than what you might think compared to other songs. Here's the second half of the verse. Then you get to the bridge part. Okay, so it does 4 times through that. Okay, and it keeps the, one thing as an anchor is your ring finger there is on that D string, or excuse me, the B string on the D note being played, okay? So everything pivots around that. Okay, there is one tricky chord in this song, and that's this E flat major 7. Okay, so look at the shape here, but I'm laying my pinky down there on the E flat, ring finger there on the G, and then I'm just barring the top 3 strings. Okay? Okay, it's tricky, but you have to practice this, erase it, come back, erase it, come back, but you'll get there. Once you've mastered that, the bridge part is pretty easy. It's just this. And it just repeats that pattern 4 times, okay? Straightforward. The trick is really you just have to practice to get that E flat major 7, but you'll get there. One quick note on the strumming, when I do this, I'm actually doing a pick rake, so I'm throwing my hand down to mute the strings, and simultaneously, or just after that, raking the pick, okay? So it's a rhythmic strumming technique. Practice that, and it adds a lot to the vibe of the song. Here's what I'm calling the chorus part, which is really done with power chords, so you may have to change it up to fit your style, depending on how you play this with electric or acoustic. Here it is, though. It does the pattern 4 times, okay? And the last time it just, I'm right into the intro part, okay? So you'll practice the transition, you can make it neater than I did just there, okay? Another thing to note is it sounds a little different on acoustic guitar than electric, so you may do it like try some different progression, but just do whatever feels comfortable, because that's what's going to come across most rather than playing it exactly right, okay? You've got this. The trick, other than just memorizing the chords, especially that tricky E flat major 7, is memorizing the structure, okay, and the progressions, okay? You got to decide if you're going to do acoustic or distorted, but if you're playing with a band, you want to be on the same page on, is this the studio version or is this something that you've heard on the radio? Because they're different, okay? So get the counts right. And there's also a classic issue like, I think in one of their acoustic versions they did live, where after the first chorus, they resolve to that intro, and they don't do the drum fill, and people start clapping, and then it goes right back into it. And that's a cool part of the song because people are like, oh, it's still going, okay? So play around with that, get the structure right, have fun, and rock on. Yeah, that was a little mistake.